Quick disclaimer before this video starts. While making this video, I have asked Hopeless Records to see if I could use All Time Low's music in the video. On August 26th, 2024, they have reached out to me and said that it's okay. Thank you all for your understanding, and please begin this video. What's kicking, rockers, punks, and everything in between? It is Allsworthy, and for today's review, I am going to look into an amazing album that defined the emo pop genre back in 2009. Brides and grooms with top hats and red ties all around, I present to you Nothing Personal, All Time Low's third album released on July 7th, 2009. However, we need to know who All Time Low are before we get into my review of this album, so why don't we get started? All Time Low are an American rock band consisting of lead singer and rhythm guitarist Alex Gaskoff, lead guitarist Jack Barakat, bassist Zach Merrick, and drummer Ryan Dawson. They formed in 2003 while they were in high school, though the lineup originally consisted of 5 members. Chris Cortelio on bass, Dawson on drums, TJ Ely playing lead guitar, Barakat on rhythm guitar, and Gaskoff was just the singer. Merrick wasn't even a member at the time, but boy, didn't it sure change from here. Cortelio and Iller would leave the band just as Zach Merrick became the official bassist of the band. With Merrick standing in as the bassist, Barakat then switched to lead guitar and Gaskoff took over rhythm guitar duties from Barakat, solidifying the lineup. With the lineup officially complete, All Time Low covered songs from a variety of pop-punk bands, Blink-182 being their primary inspiration behind it. They would eventually get signed to Emerald Moon Records in 2004 before releasing their debut album The Party Scene that following year in July 2005. Then in 2006, they would sign on to Hopeless Records before switching to Fueled by Ramen in 2017, releasing well-known songs such as Dear Maria, Count Me In. With 9 official albums released today and less than 1.5 million albums sold, these guys are still going strong even by today's standards. Now that we know who ATL are, we can now begin talking about the album itself. As previously stated, Nothing Personal is the third album by American rock band All Time Low, released on July 7th, 2009. Work for this album begun in May 2008, where Gaskoff revealed in an interview with Live Daily how he and the band have taken a break from touring to write new material for the album. 3 months later, in August of that year, All Time Low said that they would begin recording Nothing Personal in the winter, as they started doing so on January 25th the following year, with Matt Squire producing. Known for producing albums by The Cab, Ariana Grande, David Archuleta, Good Charlotte, and Panic! At the Disco's debut album, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. It took them 2 months to record the album, where it was announced that they had finished recording on March 16, 2009, before being finalised on March 24th of that year. All recordings for the album were mastered by Ted Jensen at Sterling Sound, with the lead single Weightless released in April 2009, Damned If I Do Ya, Damned If I Don't in September, and one of my personal favourites, Lost in Stereo, released in April 2010. Musically, critics described Nothing Personal as emo pop, pop punk, and pop rock. Alex Gaskoff stated he wrote the chords and melodies of the album before showing the rest of them off to the band. He later clarified in a Live Daily interview how they would write together as a full band, as it involves contributions from everybody. Nothing Personal did not perform so well in the UK, as it only peaked at number 104, but over in the United States, it debuted and peaked at number 4 on the US Billboard 200, selling 63,000 copies in its first week. It would be their best-selling album there until the release of Future Hearts in 2015, where it peaked at number 2. Now that all the information is out of the way, let's begin the review. Weightless is the opening track to Nothing Personal and first single from the album. Released in April 2009, frontman Alex Gaskov explained to NTVU, the whole mentality of the song is like, you feel like you're stuck in this negative space and you just want to get out. Summer's rolling up and everybody is finishing up with school and everybody's getting the exam beat down. He then reveals in a 2010 Kerrang interview that this is his favourite ATL song to play live, explaining, "Weightless is the best song we've ever written and it's cool to play. If people are on the fence about our band, that's the one that usually convinces them of what we can do." Personally, this song is one of my favourites from the album, not because of the music video or my love for the alternative genre, but because it reminds me of my secondary school days as I enter college and how it allows me to achieve my goals despite growing up. The music video is very memorable, with cameos from Fall Out Boy bassist Pete Wentz expressing how ATL had an influence on Fall Out Boy, and Blink-182 bassist Mark Hoppus expressing how ATL had an influence on both bands. As I expected, the scene where the band sluts were trespassing backstage to make out with Jack was reasonably cut out when it aired on Kerrang TV, because the original music video on YouTube had the girl wearing a whipped up white and black striped shirt showing part of her rear end as she walks through the door. Which I might add, in very raunchy clothing. No, seriously, that's what the music video labelled them as. And whenever it aired on TV, it was replaced with song frames of the band performing. What makes Weightless stand out from the album is how Gaskov killed it on the vocals, with Barakat performing extraordinarily well on guitar. In late 2014, Brendan Urie of Panic at the Disco explained how talented All Time Low are, expressing his love for the chorus on this song when he was hosting his US Rock Party on Kerrang TV.
And lately I've been spending some time hanging out with Jack Barakat, who plays guitar for him, and he's funny as hell. They're just funny. They're talented in their band. They write really catchy songs, especially this song, Weightless. I mean, that song is, maybe it's not really, that chorus is so catchy to me. Yeah, I just like them a lot. I like their drive. I like their mentality. They're very fun. They don't take themselves too seriously at all, which I think is really important for a band. So many great bands have done that. They, have a laugh at themselves a lot of times, and they're all about it. They make fart jokes like no one's business. So.
Break Your Little Heart is the second track to Nothing Personal. It follows a narrative of empowerment. The lyric, "Give it up, this was never meant to be, more than a memory for you," urges listeners to recognise when a story ends to not dwell on the past. It isn't completely about breaking someone's heart, it's about the process of self-preservation and growth, sometimes having to unfortunately let go of the ones we used to love and assert our own worth. The first lyric of Break Your Little Heart may cause confusion to some listeners into thinking it is some teenage love song, but it's an evidential dismissal of an unrequited love. Wide awake, my mistake so predictable, you were fake, I was great, nothing personal, sets the tone of recognising an unauthentic love that has since fallen apart. Instead of wallowing in self-pity, the protagonist is celebrating freedom because the choice to break the lover's heart is a personal victory to reclaiming the time and energy that was once wasted. If you are going through a breakup, Break Your Little Heart is worth listening to. It'll help you take your mind off of it as it creates a beautiful representation of the post-breakup power dynamics and uncovers layers of emotion while you reflect on self-worth, consequences, and the thin line between love and hate. Damned If I Do Ya, Damned If I Don't is track number 3 and the second official single of Nothing Personal, released in September 2009. Before performing an acoustic version of this song with Zach Merrick, Alex told RMTV,
"It's a fun little tune about charades that one may have with another individual. Nice. I'll leave the rest up to you."
I'll try to break it down a little bit more by stating it is about how a girl used to like the protagonist and used to fight his affections for her. Now he is accepting them and is ready to be with her, though she is someone else entirely, a partier if you will. He wants her so bad, though hates she is not doing it for the right reasons and chooses to give up everything for her. The music video here is very exquisite because it reminds me of the Jeremy Kyle show on ITV. Anyways, it follows Alex Gaskov appearing on a talk show hosted by Nika Nothing Personal Jones, where they discuss how Alex had a secret affair with his school teacher. Hilarity seriously ensues from here on out. What I find very funny in this video is how Alex's mouth shut the fuck up in the beginning when he was being questioned by Nika Jones, including the fight scene between the band members, Alex's parents, and their school teacher. Of all the songs I have listened to from this album, this is my tied all-time favourite from Nothing Personal, with the following song I am about to cover in this video, Lost in Stereo. Song 4 and final single from Nothing Personal is Lost in Stereo. Before I go any further, let me tell you that this song is one of my personal favourite songs by All Time Low, because when I first heard it on Kerrang TV back in January 2024, I thought to myself how amazing this song is. Whenever I hear this song on TV, I want to scream at the top of my lungs by turning my living room into a huge live concert as I became immersed in the pop-punk world and think I am seeing the band from my own home. But anyway, Gaskov revealed in numerous interviews that it is about spotting a beautiful girl at the show and wanting to meet her, though she doesn't pay attention to him since he is so infatuated with the music and is only there to just have fun and dance. On with the music video, it showcases the band on their 2009 Glamour Kills tour singing the song, featuring some clips of them having fun in their straight-to-DVD film. 3 memorable moments from this video include Barakat jumping into the mosh pit, followed by Merrick tearing his shirt apart, and Gaskov jumping on Dawson's back towards the end. Either way, this song and its music video are what stand out from Nothing Personal. Okay, now we get into a bit of drinking with this song. Introducing track number 5 from Nothing Personal. Stella, won't you take me home? When I first heard this song, I thought it was about someone called Strella or the beer brand Stella Artois, but I digress. The story behind this song follows the protagonist drinking with his friends and feeling sick and tired of being drunk. He has a love interest in a woman named Stella who's only happy when he's wasted and not when he's sober. He repeatedly asks her to take him home, indicating he wants to start a relationship with her, but also implies he may be addicted to alcohol and unable to control himself, hence the chorus of the song. Stella is a mid-tempo pop rock song from the album that references how the protagonist is drunk on Stella Artois, so these meanings could go either way. Another great song from the album, definitely deserves to be in my top 3. Sick Little Games is the 6th track from Nothing Personal, and despite the name of the album, this song is very personal to ATL. The band is wrapped up in sick little games and are losing their identity because every pop-punk band in the scene is entirely the same. Although Alex Gaskov is tired of partaking in these sick little games, he does continue to be involved in the band. What's also worth noting is how the song was inspired by Gaskov's skeleton tattoo. With a song discussing how fame can be difficult to achieve and adapting to change as you grow and learn as a band, this song delivers the message of how yearning for fame can be difficult at first, but if you give it time, you will achieve your goals eventually. This is another great song for me to listen to. Hello Brooklyn is the 7th track from Nothing Personal. Hardly anyone talks about this song, so I will try to explain it as best as I can. For how underrated it is, it shows how the protagonist wants to be the height of a party at the end of the world by trying to live life until he has reached the end of his journey, so that we can keep going until we die, as we only have one life to live and must make it count. I'll give this song some props for telling us how we need to get out and live life as we make of it, though the only problem I have with this song is that it sounds a little sad and how it can make me feel slightly emotional whenever I hear it. Song 8 from Nothing Personal is Walls. This song is about a previous relationship where the protagonist broke the girl's heart and was only ever in it for sex because he initially wasn't mature enough to handle being in a serious relationship and later realises he wants something more, though the girl he was with was the only one who he truly loved. What is worth noting is how the song was written about Alex Gaskov's girlfriend and later wife while they were having an on and off relationship at the time. I don't really have an opinion about this song because I don't really listen to it all that much. 9th song from the album's Too Much. When I first heard this song, it felt like I was in a video game when it started. It continues from the previous song Walls because it too much seriously lives up to its title. Reason being is how the protagonist talks about too much love and being smothered by it. Whenever I hear this song, it simply bores my legs shut because it repeats the song title quite a bit. Too much is not as high as the others for me, so I'll just leave it here and jump straight to the next song. Keep the change, you filthy animal is the 10th track from Nothing Personal, focusing on the protagonist liking a girl, but a best friend who likes the guy is saying negative things about him to keep her away from him. When I first heard this song, I thought it was about some sucky high school experiences where people are gossiping, and I was proved right once I heard it. The title of the song is rather creative because it pays homage to a line from the 1990 movie Home Alone. Our penultimate song from Nothing Personal is a song called The Party Song, The Walk of Shame in brackets. The 11th track from the album, it is essentially about a guy who met a girl at a party and wants to get into a relationship with her, but it turns out the two have nothing in common whatsoever. The melodic hook, don't sweat it, forget it, everything is a-okay, just let it go, then it's off to find another face, reminds us of how the relationship was merely just a one-night stand, because their feelings are not genuine. When I first heard this song, it made me want to headbang to the pop-punk goodness as if I was at some party. Speaking of, it is a great song to play when you are at a party. Alright everybody, we have now reached the final song in Nothing Personal. The 12th and final song from the album is Therapy. This album closer marked a sign of maturity and depth for All Time Low, and Gaskoff told MTV News, "It's nice to get away from the pop-punk niche we came up with. It's nice to try and broaden your horizons. To be honest, we wrote a lot of this album with that in mind. It weighs on you when you see all these new bands start popping up and getting signed, because that's the true nature of this terrible industry we're in. So we definitely noticed that, and we definitely thought, what can we do this time around that isn't going to piss off our fans too much, but it is going to set us apart from all these little kids that have deals and songs on MTV now?" He also adds how Therapy is his favourite song from the album, as it reminds us of how it is about every kid's nightmare when people tell you to get help when in reality you just want a hug. With a closer like Therapy, it may be quite sad because it reminds me about how Alex lost his brother at a young age, but at the same time, I notice how this song wants me to be strong despite all the hardship I have endured throughout childhood. Such a great album closer deserves such praise. With that said, that is everything I need to say about this album and its songs. But before I end this review, the question still remains. Is this album still Nothing Personal? Let's find out. And you can keep all your misery. When I first heard this album back in July 2024, I could not believe what this band has put out. They have made such a great album with this record that I decided to give some of their albums a listen, and to my surprise, Nothing Personal cemented the history of pop-punk in a big way. While Too Much and Hello Brooklyn are not my to-go songs, Weightless, Lost in Stereo and Stellar stand out amongst all the other tracks in this album. These tracks are what I consider to be one of my favourite songs by them. Did I forget to mention that the band re-recorded this album in 2019 as part of Nothing Personal's 10-year anniversary? It was done in a pseudo live setting at Red Bull Studios as It's Still Nothing Personal, a 10-year tribute through Fueled by Ramen Records. You can watch the documentary on YouTube with a link in the description. As my hopes confirmed, the album still holds up even for 2024 standards. Almost everything about this album was perfect, with the standout tracks being Weightless, Lost in Stereo, Stellar, and the epic but emotional closer Therapy, because I can relate to these songs and express my emotions through them. Though the only two songs I did not find as enjoyable were Hello Brooklyn because of the key, and Too Much because of repetition, plus it bored my legs shut. And now we get to the moment of truth. My final rating on Nothing Personal is... 8 out of 10, or dark green exceptional band. I've been Allsworthy, and I will see you in a future review. Join us next week as we review the film that defined Western animation forever, Pixar's Toy Story.